I used to get really annoyed when I would see fat people because I thought they were fat just because they were lazy. I know that sounds bad, but if you give me like the next 60 seconds, I'm going to show you something that the school system definitely didn't teach you about nutrition and losing weight. And I can explain to you why the obesity rate has tripled in one generation. If you said the reason that most people get fat is because they're in a calorie surplus, you're right. But no one wants to be morbidly obese, so the real question that we have to answer is, why do people feel like they need to overconsume the food that they're eating? If there's one thing you need to learn from this video, it's what I'm about to say. Everything from weight loss to diet to just overall health is all in your hormones. The first hormone you need to know is leptin, and all leptin does is signal to your brain when you're eating, when you're full. That's it. That's all it does. Second hormone I need you to understand is insulin, and on a very non-scientific level, basically insulin's first job is to send energy to your cells. Here's the absolute key interesting part. Insulin's second job is to store fat for your body. See, the only way that your body can put on body fat is by you being in a calorie surplus, right? By you overeating. But the only way you'll overeat is if your leptin, right? The thing that signals to your brain that you're full, gets slowed down. And so that's what insulin does. When insulin rises, it slows leptin down. And on basic terms, that's what it does. The next big question is, what makes insulin rise? And the biggest thing is carbs and sugar. What is overused in basically every single food that they make nowadays? Carbs and sugar. Have you guys ever been at the store and seen like the fat-free yogurt? Fat-free is just a Coke. So in case you didn't know, fat is what makes your food or the food that you're eating taste good. Like the reason a steak will taste so good and juicy is because of the fat that's in it. But they can't just give you something that doesn't have any fat in it and like nothing else to replace it, because then it would just taste ass. It would taste terrible. So what do they put in place of the fat that is actually pretty healthy for your body? Sugar. Carbs. Sugar is a carb. So each time people eat these new foods, even when they're trying to eat healthier by eating these like fat-free products, which really fat isn't even bad for you, they eat more carbs and more sugar, which means it spikes their insulin, which means it slows their leptin, which means they don't feel full as fast, which means they overeat. So you know what we have to do to fix it? Number one, we have to stop listening to these dumbass fitness influencers that say all calories are the same, because they're not. I just proved it to you with these hormones, they're not. And the way you get people to stop being so obese and everyone starts dropping weight and losing visceral fat, which is the fat around their organs so they're healthier, is to start recognizing that there are healthy foods and unhealthy foods. Basically, all that means is you just have to stop eating so many processed foods. And processed foods are just like the foods on the right that have like 40 different ingredients in them. And the key to losing weight or getting on a diet that's consistently healthy isn't cutting out bad food. It's just eating more good food, and it'll replace with time.